what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. Howdy. I don't know why I did that, but I just did it. Look at that. I can do this like, if I duck when I do it, then it's kind of like, oh, how are you doing? All right. So today, what are we going to talk about? I was thinking about this topic. I'm going to call this armchair quarterbacks. Oh, you've heard this term before. Oh, you're one of them. I'm one of them. We're all armchair quarterbacks, and we don't even know it half the time. So what got me thinking about this? Oh, let's see. Political candidates, definitely. Oh, I know. Someone compared me to Sarah Palin. Oh, what an asshole. Anyway, and I thought about that and I was like, you know, you mean that as an insult, but she's a pretty accomplished person, right? Like, you think that you're smarter, like, when I read this comment, I was like, you actually think that you're better, more successful some way, have better judgment or smarter or something than Sarah Palin, who has a very successful political career and has achieved levels of success that someone who's, no offense, but sits around and comments on YouTube videos, you know, a lot, hasn't achieved, right? I mean, I'm not trying to offend you if you comment. I like you commenting on my YouTube videos. Don't get me wrong. I comment on some YouTube videos, but I'm just saying that in general, the general audience, general person who's spending a lot of time watching YouTube videos and putting nasty shit in the comments. Let me qualify it that way. If that's you, you probably haven't accomplished a lot with your life. If you're a smart person and you're putting like encouraging stuff or contributing in some way in the comments, you're probably okay, right? But if you are just some dumbass who leaves nasty comments on YouTube channels, you probably, I don't understand where you can get the gall or the nerve to qualify yourself in any regard better than Sarah Palin, right? You might not agree with her. You might think that you hear stuff she says and say, wow, she seems dumb or uneducated. But the fact of the matter is, she's run her life a little bit better than you, right? You see what I'm saying, right? She's achieved a certain, maybe you don't want to be, you know, maybe you don't care about a political career or the kind of success that she has. And that's an extreme example, right? You know, maybe you are smarter than Sarah Palin. I don't know. But the point is this, it's right. So like, even like, you know, I'm not supposed to talk about politics on YouTube anymore. As if I care. Fine, don't monetize my stuff. I don't care. But like let's take the presidential election. Let's take Clinton and Trump. I'm guilty of this too, right? Right? I'm not excluding myself, but a lot of us think we're smarter than either of these two people and that they're screwing things up, you know, depending on which side you're on, and that they're so stupid and how could they do this stupid thing, and I could show them the correct way that they should be handling their press conferences, and I could tell them the correct things that moves that they should be making and the correct policies that they should be making, right, and the correct way that they should do this. That's called armchair quarterbacking, and it's ridiculous, right? And I'm not excluding myself from this. I'm just recognizing something stupid that I do when I think that I'm better than people that have achieved way more than I have in life, right? And it's so funny that we do this. So, you know, I'm coming to realize that I'm trying to stop, right? I'm trying to realize that, and I've kind of, you know, tried to recognize that most people that you see on TV got there for a reason. Like, not all of them are super smart, but sometimes the not so smart ones are super dang hardworking. Now, sometimes they had the right connections and stuff, but at least they didn't screw it up, right? I want to say F, but I think YouTube, I'll let them censor me a little bit in that way. Only when I really need to say F. Anyway, you know, it's something they didn't screw it up, right? So what I'm saying is this, essentially, like, let's stop. You know, maybe let's not say stop. Let's just recognize, you know, something about ourselves, which is, it's important to do. It's hard to do. It's easy to be in denial. But let's recognize that we do a lot of armchair quarterbacking, that a lot of times the people that we see in the news, in the media, that we, you know, that are somewhat famous or, you know, that we think we know better than they do, even though they're way better, they've achieved way more success than we do. And why is this dangerous? Why does this matter, right? You might even be disagreeing with me at this point and saying, no, I'm definitely way more qualified than Sarah Palin. I don't know what you're talking about, or Trump or Clinton or whatever, right? I'm not gonna take sides on this, but That's fine. You may think that you are. Then go ahead. Then go ahead and get your ticket to run for the president of the United States, or to become the governor of Alaska, or whatever. You know what I mean? Go do it. Let me see. Or create your $1 million company because you're smarter than Mark Zuckerberg, right? Let me see it. Okay? Are all these people lucky? Or is everyone just lucky and you're just super smart? You don't care about that shit. You don't care about making money. You don't care about success, right? Right? I'm not buying it. Right? You can't do it. If you could, you would, right? So you need to recognize that. I need to recognize that, right? We're trying. We're do better. I've got big aspirations. I got big dreams. I hope you do. But we're not there yet. And this is the key. That means we have something to learn from these people, even though we might not like them, even though we might despise them, right? I'll give you an example, and I don't want flack for this, right? I mean, you can give me flack if you want. I don't care what you do, but what I'm going to say is, like, don't take this as drawing sides, because I'm on my own side. Hopefully I'm on your side. I like to be on your side, right? But I'm reading Donald Trump's book, The Art of the Deal. Interesting, very, very interesting. Learning a lot of stuff that I would not have expected to learn from this man. Again, I'm trying to be as neutral as possible so you can't figure out, which way I might lean, because that's not the point, and that doesn't actually matter, right? And it's so not black and white. The world is so not black and white. Anyway, my point is this. When we do armchair quarterbacking, when we think we're smarter than people that have achieved more than us in some area, what we do is we lose the ability to learn from them. And that is tragic. That is horrible, because we become closed-minded, because we become, to some degree, bigots, right? We become ignorant. That's the key. And so we want to see reality as best as possible. I do, right? I think you probably do as well. And so it's important to recognize this. It's important to recognize when we're doing the armchair quarterbacking, and to take a deep breath and say, this is weird. I don't like this person. It feels like they're really dumb, but there's something here that I'm not getting. Either the picture that's being painted by the media, or what I'm reading, or is an inaccurate picture, or I just don't know what I don't know. And I can't help that, right? If I had the knowledge and the wisdom, I'd be able to see what's going on, but I don't understand it. And if you approach from that perspective and say, how can I understand this, right? I mean, you don't have to for everything, but at least you can avoid the prejudgment. At least you can avoid the armchair quarterbacking and thinking you're better than someone who's achieved a lot. Then you've got the opportunity to learn. Then you can observe, and you can say, let's pretend. You can even do this little exercise if you're having trouble. You can say, let's pretend this person was really, really smart and they had a really, really good plan, and they're way smarter than me. Now let me observe their actions and see what I can glean from them. Does that, looking through that filter, does it change things? Is there something here to learn? Not all the time. Sometimes they're not going to learn. And it's not like successful people don't make mistakes. Sometimes they totally screw up. It's just that me and you, we're not in a position to judge. We don't have enough information. And in a lot of cases, they're smarter than us and they're more successful. Again, that's just how it is. Not all cases, but we don't know which cases those are. That's the thing. And that's the thing about being ignorant, right? Is you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So you have to kind of come from that method of operation in order to learn, in order to become wise. You want to become wise? This is how you do it. It's humbling yourself. It's realizing that you don't know it all. You don't. And some people have everyone, there's a really good quote in How to Win Friends and Influence People. I love this book. And he says that, in some way every day, I'm screwing up the quote, but essentially he says this. I'll paraphrase it because I'm not good with quotes. But he says, or in the past I have not been the best with quotes. Instead of classifying myself as an absolute, it's a better way to say it. But anyway, he basically says that in some way, every man is my superior, right? And that might not even be from Dale Carnegie. He might have quoted someone else. But that's an important thing to remember. In some way, every man is my superior, or woman, right? All right, so anyway, hopefully you get some value out of this, and I bet you're, and you might be armchair quarterbacking me right now. All right, maybe you can put this into practice. All right, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you next time. Just hit that big subscribe button. Go ahead, click it. All right, take care.